And we're live. Now we're recording. Awesome. I have a few things I'd like to work through, but before I go to my own stuff, anybody have any questions? Any successes that they want to share with the group? Any deals they're working on? Anything they want some help comping or underwriting or anything like that? If you're new, on the bottom of your Zoom screen, there's a little reaction button. You can hit that reaction button and raise your hand, and that'll put you in my queue. Travis, I appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Let's jump in. Eric's first.
Yes.
Hey,
Oh,
there you are.
you up in the big screen. Thank you.
How's it going, sir?
Oh, pretty good. Just celebrating a little bit of a win. About 5-10 minutes ago, I finally got my numbers for a deal I've been working on here in Kerrville. So haven't had a chance to analyze anything and look at the chicken scratch and do some calculations to see what I can come up with. But I've been working with another sub-2 student up in Dallas who's been kind of coaching me a little bit. So just
Uh-huh.
sent all the stuff to her, but I just wanted to share that I'm excited about it and glad this is going to be a little shorty so I can get on figuring out how much or what kind of deal I'm gonna be able to make on that. So
Awesome.
it's about $1 million deal. I've never done a deal yet, so potentially it's 10 doors. So we'll see how
Nice.
this goes.
Nice. Sounds like it's a multifamily.
That's one of them's a fiveplex, and then there's single family rentals for the other five.
So it's like a portfolio. Someone
Yeah.
selling off their portfolio.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So you said you haven't done any underwriting on it yet?
No, not yet. So I just got the numbers, and I was gonna kind of crunch them down and run it through a calculator and see if make sure I can. I know half of the deal is it's gonna be a hybrid, so half of it's gonna be sub-2.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got to figure out, what I can offer them and what they want to get out of the deal because they want to move on forward with commercial rental with whatever they can get out of the deal. So, uh, and make it a little more passive for them.
So
So
are they interested in 1031 out of these properties into something bigger?
I mentioned that, and the guy I've been talking with is a CPA, and he said he couldn't do that. So I'm like, okay, I
Hmm.
didn't question it. I didn't, I think he can, but I don't. I don't know. I wasn't. That was just the first meeting, and I wasn't going to call him on anything. But I could probably educate him a little bit. As long as it's a like property, they can do a 1031, right? They go in a syndication with because I think that's what they're looking at doing.
So I'll share I'll share with you guys so far my biggest fail. All right. And it has to do with the 1031 and why I'm skittish around them. So I had a large lot. I used to live in Oregon, and I bought this large lot right across the street from one of those big shopping centers, outdoor shopping center. And I was planning on building an assisted living facility on it. And COVID hit, and you know, lumber prices and everything doubled and basically blew my budget. I couldn't do the project. And so I was thinking, since I was going to relocate anyway to Texas, well, I might as well just relocate to Texas, sell off the rest of everything I have and just relocate down. So I was hoping to sell that lot and 1031 into an assisted living down here. And something happened during that process. There was some bank issues, something messed up, And what happened was the money was deposited into my account. And then what I was going to do is take that money and buy the new property, right? Well, you can't do that.
Now it's got to go to a third party, right?
It's got to go to a third party. Something happened with the banks. So you have to designate a third party, and you have to pick a few properties that are similar to what you're wanting to do or what you did before.
Mhm.
And so as soon as I took possession of that money, as soon as it was deposited, it caused a taxable event. And I woke up with a $120,000 tax bill, which was completely unanticipated.
So doesn't that start your 45 days to get your 3 properties identified?
No. So here's the thing. Here's how the 1031 works, right? I have a lot that was investment property. And what you would do is you would designate a third party. There's a third party servicer who handles this type of thing. And you tell that third party servicer that you're selling X property and you're trying to buy another investment property, and you select you can select as many as you want, but you have to select at least 3 to provide to them. And but having said that, when you go through the whole transaction, you don't necessarily have to buy any of those 3. You just have to show that you're actually looking for a piece of property and you're pursuing that. So yeah, something happened in the communication. The money was deposited to my account after I sold that lot, and I was obviously not super happy about it. But I have a fantastic accountant who's a personal friend of mine. And what we did is we took all of the various properties I had in LLCs and stuff and made it look like it was they were all a unified portfolio. And so I was able to write off that as a loss against some gains I had. And it pretty much halved my tax bill, but it still wasn't pretty. I'm still pretty upset by it. But so today, that's my biggest fail, 120K.
So the problem was, just so I understand this, if it had gone into a third party, it would have been okay.
Absolutely. As
And you
soon as it
can't
hits,
reverse that.
yeah, if it hits your personal account, you can't reverse it, obviously.
Yeah.
So as soon as it hit my personal account, taxable event,
Mm.
yeah, wasn't fun. So having said that, some CPAs are versed in this stuff and some aren't. So um, if I would imagine if this person is trying to would like to send 31 into something else, that they would be a little more sophisticated, but I hope they figure all that stuff out. Tori's here. Tori, I'm sorry, guys. Eric, was there anything else? I'm sorry.
No, sir, I'm good. I'm mute.
Me better
I'm
not.
pulling Tori up because me and Tori are doing a deal.
Woo!
Woohoo! How's it going, Tori?
It's going pretty good. Much better now.
Who's that next to you?
That's Crystal.
Haha,
We are doing the deal.
we are doing a deal. Tell us about what the deal was. How did it go? Where'd it come from? How'd you guys get it?
So we originally had another deal come to us in Carrizo Springs, and so we were reaching out, trying
Oh, Tori's a robot.
who has, but am I glitching?
A little bit, yeah.
Sorry.
It's better now.
Okay, so yeah, we were learning the area. We got in touch with different realtors in that area, and then this deal was presented to us. We got this land. It was originally on market. We got to know the seller. He took it off the market. We made the deal. We had the contract, and we had been working on it for quite a while. We were talking to so many people, trying to contact so many people, blasting it absolutely everywhere. We had some buyers fall out. And then we posted it on Craigslist, and these buyers called in all cash. And they just wanted the land there. They took a look at the house. It does have a little bit of foundation issues, but they work in that area, so it
Mhm.
really wasn't a problem to them. Um, and so now we are here. We asked for some help,
Awesome.
and you guys are just so awesome to
So
help us
we're
out.
doing Gator loans on Tori's deal for
Mm-hmm.
her, is it EMD or gap funding, something like that. It's like a double close situation.
It is, yeah.
And the cool thing about it is that we were able to wrestle a bunch of other baby gators who we're bringing in on the deal too, so they can kind of get some behind the scenes learning and see how deals work from the the lending and the transactional funding standpoint, which is so very nice of you ladies to allow us to do that. We really appreciate it.
No, we appreciate you guys. It was so amazing to see everybody just come together and help us. And we're like, who are we? We're kind of freaking out, and we're just, yeah, it happened so quickly, and I'm still shocked at the opportunity that you have given us and you guys have given
Oh,
us. We're
you guys
just
are too nice. Come
so
on.
thankful,
You know why
and
I'm
thank
doing
you
it,
guys
right?
for for the next
So you bring me
deal.
like 10 more of them.
I know. That's what I'm saying. We're ready for the next one. I'm ready. Like, I'm just so
Let's do it.
energized.
Let's do
I'm
it.
stoked.
Fantastic. Well, I hope it works out. We should be closing pretty soon. And
It will work out.
yes, yes, good. Awesome. I had a whole bunch of people with hands raised, but now everyone kind of went away. I guess I must have answered all the questions real quick.
You're the second, Rob.
Awesome. All right. Thank you guys. I'll see you at closing
Yes,
sometime.
of course. I'm super excited.
Awesome. Love it. I'm gonna bring Samuel up.
Hello, Rob, everybody. How y'all doing?
Fantastic. How are you, sir?
Pretty good, pretty good. Talking to buyers and some realtors, and I had a question. Let's say you look at a property, and I know there's the wholesale MAO, but when you're going to have to basically gut a place, I mean, it needs a lot of repair. I know do you typically get an estimate from a contractor? I mean, that's what I'm doing. There was a contractor in the area. Because, I mean, when you have something that man, I mean, until you can really get someone to look at it, it's going to be kind of hard to figure that what's it going to cost to repair without getting an estimate. I mean, what do y'all typically do?
So I I have experience in construction, so
Okay.
it's easier for me to sort of look at things and kind of know what they're gonna cost. We do have sort of a range of numbers that we typically look at when we're estimating repairs and rehab and all that sort of stuff. I
Mhm.
think we put that in last time, but I'm happy to share that with you again. I think you got that, didn't you? That 20, 40, 60, 75, whatever it was.
I missed last week if that's when you did it. Um,
Um, sure. Let me search my um little calculadora here.
and I know what I saw last was the percentage ARV we were using was 0.92, but I'm sure that
Um,
changes with area, right?
so I'm gonna drop it into chat right now.
Okay.
Okay. And then you asked about percentage of ARV to achieve like an MAO.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I don't do that. I don't do that method. I know that Jamil teaches that in Astro, and there obviously there's various ways to get to your MAO. But I personally don't use that method.
Okay. So
You know,
what do you know what to do there, Rob? Let's say you had a house and you know it's going to need some work. You know what they're asking. You've done your comps. You got a pretty good idea of what you could probably sell the for if it's fixed just like the others in the area. So what do you normally do then to come up with your MOA or MAO?
well, I mean, it sounds to me like you already got your MAO.
No, not necessarily. I mean, if there's a lot of work that needs to be done, um, I'm going to have to understand how much that piece is. And I've got this now, so maybe with that I can do it. Let's see,
Yeah,
lipstick,
let's,
basic
do you have
number.
maybe an example to pull up? Is there a deal you're working on? Maybe we can pull it up.
Well, this came up in general. There's several I'm looking at, but I'm not sure any are deals yet. Just want to look at some numbers. I'm getting quite a bit from Privy. Some of them, man, are viable. I think after looking at some numbers, some of them are a little more obvious. That man, when I look at uh, the comps, man, there's no breathing room here. So
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty common,
yeah,
you know? So once you get your ARV, you gotta subtract all of the expenses. So that means like your assignment fee, the agent's assignment fee, closing costs, however long it's gonna take you to hold it in terms of insurance and mortgage and taxes, interest. Then yeah, you have to, did I mention rehab costs and all that stuff? All that stuff has to be subtracted out of there before you get to your MAO. You know
right.
that, but so the question you're asking is, how do I figure out what those rehab renovation costs are?
Yeah, that
And
was the one that was the biggest question because I mean, it could. I mean, this house that I was looking at, they mentioned it had a little bit of mold, and you start thinking, oh my God, what's that going to turn into? But, so
yeah, people get freaked out by mold. I'm from the Pacific Northwest and it's everywhere, so, doesn't really scare me as much as other people. I get that. I know here, it's one of the issues that lots of people have, regarding, fire damaged houses. So, they have to if they used water to put out the fire, there's oftentimes mold remediation that has to happen, and I get that. Um, but
okay, you've had pretty good luck with what you had there as far as the basic Reno, and then those numbers you gave there. Then
yeah, those numbers are pretty good. For they're not blanket across the country, obviously. Costs are gonna be way higher in Oregon or in Phoenix compared to San Antonio, let's say. You know, the work is typically not as good. I'm sorry to say that, but it's not the quality in San Antonio is nowhere near what it is on the coasts. Nowhere near. Not even like that pride and craftsmanship is different, you know, like electricians. So I'm an electrician, and electricians in Oregon, where I'm from, we look at the way we do things way different than here. So you have to be really picky and choosy with the contractors you're using. And if you want quality work, you're gonna pay a lot for it here. But
okay,
yeah, but those numbers I gave you, they're pretty good for the Texas area, I would say.
cool. And that's the area I'm working. I did get some good rapport with several realtors that had contractors that they've seen used in the area. So I kind of leveraged that to see if I could get someone that's done some work in that immediate area and should have an estimate on some stuff in the coming days.
Yeah, and the other thing you can do is you can add, if you find people who are fixing and flipping or GCs, don't be afraid to just ask, like, hey, how much are you guys spending on a typical reno? How much is this costing you? How much is that costing you? And sometimes they'll share, sometimes they won't, but I bet you if you're, you're seem like a nice guy, it'd be pretty easy for you to drum up a relationship with some of those GCs and have them shoot you some numbers.
Cool.
And can I jump in here?
Of course.
Samuel, you said you're talking to buyers.
Yes.
Have you asked them if they have anyone that can walk the property with you?
The buyers,
Mhm.
walk
If they have a GC that they work with,
Mhm.
like if you're building that relationship with your buyers, a lot of them, if they're doing active fix and flips, they'll have a GC that they typically use. So if they don't want to walk the property, you can just shoot them over some pictures, have them look over and see what they think they may need to spend on this, because every buyer is going to be different. Every fix and flipper is going to be different. So that would be my recommendation, is sending off pictures of the home that, hey, I have this property, you know, do you see anything different? These are the estimates for the cost of repairs that I came up with. You know, are you seeing anything different based on the pictures?
Okay. Okay, cool. I'll do that. That's a good avenue. I appreciate that. I do have
Awesome.
a meeting with a buyer in a neighboring town next week that he wants to visit with me, and he said he has general contractors and everything. So it sounds like that could be a fruitful relationship. And he
Yeah.
prompted the meeting. You know, he was very, very pleased to hear that, you know, someone could be bird dogging or trying to bring some deals to him. So that's
I
good.
mean, it's going to be more and more common where you're gonna be finding contractors looking for work. Just the way it is when the economy shifts. I have a friend who runs a really large commercial electrical shop in Southern California. He had 3 projects that were in the 1.5 million dollar range, just his
Wow.
side of the electrical, so big jobs, and all 3 of them have completely stopped. So he has like 40 guys that he has to lay off, and
Oh my.
it's turning. So he's like, this feels very like 2008 in Southern California. So people are starting to freak out a little bit. But you know, that just means that there's more options for creative out there.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, one other question, if you don't mind. I don't mean double dipping. I know there's others that might want to ask, but
No problem.
recently, and I heard about Podio just through the Zooms and this and that, but Lord knows, trying to manage this without something like that was kind of a pain. But I did get Podio, and there's a few free version. Is that what y'all typically use to kind of manage your conversation, like what you talked to them last when you have leads, contacts, and things like that?
So it depends on what you're trying to do. What is it that you're trying to focus on? Are you talking about like the telecommunication side, communicating, or are you more worried about managing projects like properties and stuff like that?
Mostly just keep track of who I've called, if it was the first call, what their contact is, what area they're in. I built contacts for buyers, for real estate agents, and things like that. So I just
Okay,
didn't know
so
that, but it seems to be a pretty decent platform. I just didn't know what everybody else typically used to manage all this. It could
yeah,
be quite a bit of information.
yeah. Podio is great because it starts free. And then it's a lot like Legos where you can take little pieces and build it how you want it. You know, it's got little things you can add to it, communications, billing, all that little things. When it's free, it's simple, and as you build it, it can get complicated a little bit. So what I did is I am using REI Reply, which is really good for communication. It's pre-built, so it looks a little bit more complicated when you first look at it. But then everything's already in place, so you don't have to, you know, import things and Zoho and do all these weird things that integrations and all that. I'm not very good at that stuff. I understand it when someone does it and I can follow along, but um, I'm not. Uh, Although I lean a little bit integrator, it's too much for me. Um, so I went with REI Reply because you can do phone calls and texts and email campaigns.
Cool.
You can do that in Podio. It just takes more time and it's more intensive to build that CRM interface how you want it to be.
Okay. And that was REI, like real estate, invest in reply.
Exactly.
Cool.
And I think it's $49 a month or something like that. It's not bad.
Okay.
But you can buy phone numbers in it and I do primarily text campaigns through it. It has the ability to host I think host, I think I'm using that word right, but you can host like landing page websites on it, simple ones, you know, that you can point people to. You can do email campaigns through it. It's pretty capable for $49 a month. And I didn't want to spend the time to build something. I just wanted to have it done and move on, you know, but that's just me.
That sounds good. And I guess you said it does a texting campaign. You just upload lists and,
Yeah, you guys want to see?
and I wouldn't mind seeing.
Yeah, no problem. Let's, okay,
I hope I ain't wasting y'all's time.
no, we're not wasting time. We're learning. All right.
Yeah, me and spreadsheets, you know, the Podio seems to be working good now, but yeah, we'll see. Take a
You
gander.
can all see this?
Yes, sir.
All right. This is the first time we're streaming to Facebook. Dang,
Man, you don't have enough tabs open up there.
gangster. That's about how my brain works.
Oh my, it's crazy, man.
All right, here we are.
You lost.
Let me refresh this.
REI reply.
REI reply. So REI reply is basically a skin that's built on a different platform. You know, it's one platform and multiple companies use the underneath part and put their own skin on it. But this is REI reply. Let me get all these little windows and faces and stuff moved out of my way so I can sort of see my screen a bit better. Okay, so REI reply is very focused on managing contacts. Okay, so if you're like, I want to be able I want to have somewhere where I can input properties and follow a property through its pipeline, through the various stages of a pipeline, REI reply is not very good for that. Which is why some people use REI reply for the contact and communication portion, and they'll use Podio for managing those property leads.
Okay.
I hope I described that okay. But REI reply is very contact focused. And then what you do is you pick whatever contacts you want and you launch them into a campaign. And you build your campaigns however you want them to be. And I can show you that they're called automations, and there's 3 different ways to make automations. Well, 2 mostly, but workflows and campaigns. Workflows are super capable, but they're complicated to build. Campaigns are simpler and they're easier to build. So you can imagine I'm going to use a campaign as opposed to a workflow. And then so what I do, the first thing is like when I'm trying to reach out to an agent. Let me take a step back and explain. This REI reply interface that I'm using, I'm practicing with Jonah Corchin's Scorch method, agent outreach. And the basis of that method is where you are trying to build relationships with agents long term in an effort to get them to bring you off market properties. That's what the MO of this method is, okay? So the way he shows us to do that, and if you're interested in this at all, he holds Zooms every Friday afternoon. I want to say it is 3 p.m. Texas time. And he kind of walks you through his approach to it. Jonah Corchin is his name. So the first thing that we do is we do a 3-step SMS campaign. So these are cold texts. And we send these texts out to so my contact list is 7,500 strong. And this is contacts I got from only one county, Bexar County.
Wow.
These are all the agents in Bexar County are on this list. So I cold text them first with the, where is it? right here. I cold text them first. There's a three text outreach. They're all 1 day apart. If they reply, they get put into my active campaign, and if they don't reply, they get put into my failed outreach campaign. Okay,
And that's
then-
automatically,
say again.
that's automatic.
This is automatic up until the point when they reply. After they reply, then I have to decide what I'm gonna do. Am I gonna reply? Am I gonna reach out to them? Am I gonna put them into a follow-up campaign? That sort of thing. And that's typically what I'll do, is I'll try to, if they reply, they usually reply like, who are you? So, let's go into conversations.
Oh, hey, let's see.
And let's see if I could find one. A lot of them reply stop, which kicks them out of the system. It gives them a do not call automatically. You can set that up so it does it automatically. But sometimes they reply like, who are you? And what this does is it gives you the opportunity to pre-define how those people, how do you respond to those. So when they reply, who is this? All I do is go to this little tag and it fills it out for me. I don't have to text that every single time, you know? Or if they reply, sure, I'll be happy to work with you. What are you looking for? Well, I happen to have a what I'm looking for pre-filled out tag, template, whatever you want to call it. So in that respect, it's very, very nice. I don't have to sit there and type out things. I just click and it fills out all that stuff for me. And then it has a pipeline where you can, I sent those texts. Here's how many failed. Here's how many passed and replied. Here's how many hit do not call. And then I schedule an intro call. I talk to them, and then I explain to them what I'm looking for. And hopefully over time, you build up those relationships. After I've done that call, what I'll do is I will put them into my follow-up campaign. And this is a campaign that will send out a text every 14 days. And I have 4 different texts that it kind of cycles through, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on 5, 6, 7, 8 goes back through the 4 text messages. And it'll do this campaign for a year. And at the end of the year, it'll stop.
Okay.
So REI reply is cool because it lets you do some of these automations. And if you're doing like a one-man show or, you and a VA or something, then it makes it a little bit easier in that respect.
Okay. And the fact that it sends the text campaign out, that's worth looking into for sure.
Yeah. The only thing is, so you can see where, so this number here, 85%, 86%, it really should be higher. Like, when it drops below 90%, it's not super good. The reason it's this low is because, texting could be problematic if you're trying to sell something. There's a lot of do not call lists and there's a lot of lawsuits and stuff going on with that whole texting thing. So you have to be careful of your wording. There are keywords that, if you put them in your text, the carriers will blacklist you and you won't be able to send out text anymore and it'll fail your campaign. So I had like 2-3 days where I was getting all my messages were getting failed and I had to change up some of the wording in my campaigns and it started working again and it doesn't have like those bad words that they don't like. Not bad words, they're just like,
Yeah, trigger
are
word.
you, will you sell this to me? Like, yeah, you're gonna get blackballed for that. It's not good.
Okay.
Yep. And then again, yeah, you can do email campaigns. You can do mail, like no, I think it's just email. Yeah, email campaigns, text campaigns. It'll even do voice drops. Let's see if I can remember how to do that. Jeez, man. Create campaign. Okay. Let's say test. Okay. Yeah, all right. So these are all the things it'll do. You can send SMSs, emails, ringless voicemails where it just drops them. You can do a manual text and a manual call, you know, where you're inputting the data and sending it out, hitting send. Google My Business, it has a good interface with that. It does work with Facebook Messenger, although it's something I'm not really using. And it does automatic calls. If you want to do like pre-recorded phone calls and sort of reach out that way, it'll do that too. So it's a pretty capable system.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good deal. About 40 something bucks a month, or 49, you said?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not too bad. I played around with it for a while. I like it.
All right. Appreciate it, Rob.
Yeah, and there's lots of YouTube, you know, trainings and things like that on there.
Okie doke. Gracias. Appreciate your time and patience.
Yeah, of course, sir. Mr. Ray. Let's see. Why is my screen not working very well?
Hey, can you hear me, Rob?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Hey, man, how you doing this evening?
I am doing okay. I was telling people earlier I bit into something today and I think I cracked it too, so I have to go see the dentist tomorrow. So
Oh no!
I'm
Oh
not
man!
I'm not feeling the best, but I can make it work.
Oh man, I've had that happen. So yeah, that sucks, man. Sorry to hear that. I don't know if you remember last week I was on your call. You were dropping me some gems and some nuggets on that Indiana market research. I know you talked to a lot of baby elephants, I guess that's what they're called, the beginners and stuff. So I don't know if you remember, but yeah, I just wanted to say I appreciate that again.
Of course.
So my question today is just a simple one. So I read in one of the Discord channels somewhere that eventually we would get Pace's proof of funds that actually had like bank account info, and he actually did say that on one of the Elephant Challenge videos, and he just said it takes a few days through the beginning of the month to get it. And then I've also heard other people who are doing agent outreach through Privy encounter agents who are wanting proof of funds with the bank info on that. So one of the posts said, ask the elephant leaders about getting one of those or seeing if Paces was ready. So you're the elephant leader, so I thought I'd ask you, do you know about it?
Sure. Two ways I would answer that. First, of course we can do that through Paces. I'm under the impression that it was posted in the elephant Discord, was it not?
No, there's a link where you can generate the template one, just a letter. But yeah, so I've seen that one, and you can get those pretty much everywhere, but I've heard that there's agents who are asking for the ones with the bank information. So
Yeah,
either
so
yeah.
they're asking for like ones with
The proof of
actual bank
funds.
numbers?
Well, now I haven't encountered any of them, right? But I want to be ready either with one or with an objection, a way to get around that objection when it does happen. Because I hear a lot of the agent outreach privy people, wholesalers and stuff and investors,
Mhm.
they're recounting stories of agents asking for a proof of funds with the bank stuff. And then I guess it must be a thing, right? Or Pace wouldn't have, I don't think he would have ever mentioned it, right? During the videos. He was like, okay, you can use my proof of funds with the bank account info on it. But I just gotta, he said it'll last 30 days. Then I have to generate another one, and I'll give it to y'all
Yeah.
guys. He said that right on his video. So if it wasn't a thing, why would he mention it and
Yeah, I
promise
heard
to
it
give it
too.
to us?
Yeah, so I know that they're working on getting Pace's actual one. The one that's in Discord is like a temporary one. I never used anybody else's. And because what I did is, and it's pretty easy to do, you just call a local hard money, private money person in your area and just ask them for a proof of funds. Or alternatively, you could use the company that Pace uses, and Pace is, I'm under the impression he's willing to sponsor. I'm not sure if that's only for sub 2 students. Maybe Don can help me with that one. But I would recommend just get one on your own.
Oh yeah, I can well, you talking about the one with bank, like the one that goes a little
No,
bit
no,
farther than
no. So, I'm sorry, remind me what market you're in.
I'm in the Indianapolis market virtually.
Indianapolis, okay.
Right.
So, virtually. Oh, I see, you're working virtual, okay.
Yeah.
So go into like, but where are you from? What
I'm
what
in
are you?
Michigan, so I'm a few hours north of Indianapolis.
Okay, so like Detroit area?
No, I was
Oh, Ann
born
Arbor or
in
something like that, right?
I was born and raised in the
College
Detroit
Station?
area, but I'm in the West Michigan area right now, like right around. I don't know if you ever heard of these little small cities like Kalamazoo, Grand Rapids, like
Grand
that.
Rapids, awesome. I
But
mean, you can
far
use
I'm
one
south of
anywhere.
all that though.
Grand Rapids, I'm just giving an example, okay? I'm not, uh, I'm talking through you, like Pace says. I'm talking through you to everyone else too, okay?
Mhm.
Grand Rapids, Michigan, private money lender. Okay. The thing you need to understand about these guys who do private money, they're like cockroaches. They're everywhere and they're happy to give you money. They don't need any background check, any credit check usually. Sometimes they do. I wouldn't be surprised if they start asking you for, um, background checks, but look at this. Hard money lender, Grand Rapid, 5-star. Wow. Um, 5-star, but they don't have a website.
All right, so now give me a little bit of insight on this, because like I said, I keep hearing about the agents who are asked for ones with the bank statement rather than the one that's you can just generate, because I've actually used those before. So is that really a thing? You know what I mean? Where like, hey, some agents won't submit this offer, but they don't have, that level of proof of funds.
Yeah, I think that used to be a thing when it was very competitive.
Mhm.
I also think it has to do with the way that you're talking to the agent, your tonality. I almost never get asked for it.
Okay.
But does it happen? Of course. Yeah. Sometimes people will want a proof of funds and just get a proof of funds. I mean, this is literally what I would do. I would just call these guys and be like, I need a proof of funds for $500,000. Can you guys hook me up with one? And they're gonna say, yes, here's what we need from you. And you just submit it and you have a proof of funds in your name, at $500,000. And why am I stressing it this way? as opposed to just using PACEs. First off, if you submit a proof of funds to someone else using someone else's name, that doesn't always look the best. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can say like, hey, this is my partner and he's the money guy. But I personally like to like, it's a little bit of maybe, pride. Is that a bad way to say it? Maybe, but like, I want to do it under my name. Like I want people to use Robert as the person they go to. I don't want to have all these weird little things going on.
Yeah,
So that's why I do it that way,
yeah.
but it's not necessarily the best way, and it might not be right for you.
Yeah, now don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I have generated them from other lenders and used them in different situations. But like I said, this is my first dive into this agent outreach. And I've actually listened to like privy trainings with different people who are associated with Jamil and Pace and all them and Benson and all them. I've actually heard them on the phone with agents, while they're going through privy, trying to make offers, and the agents are asking for the bank statement style proof of funds. So I'm thinking, okay, this must be a thing, right? Some at least in some situations, or if it wasn't a thing, why would Pace even mention that particular style of one, during the Elephant Challenge, So
Yeah,
just wanted to
I think
explore
it's
that.
no, I hear where you're coming from. And I think it goes back to what I was saying earlier. Typically, the people in the Elephant Challenge are not super like comfortable talking to agents, and maybe they come across as being a little bit like not legit. And
Yeah,
so it's a default way for an agent to vet you and say, show me your proof of funds, and then we'll, show me the money before I take the offer to the seller.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that, Rob. And it does come down a lot to building rapport. If you're just the way you come off, sometimes they do that, like Rob's saying, to vet, or it could be they're getting so many offers or interest in this property, and so
trying to
in
weed
order
them
for
out.
them- do what?
They're trying to weed out.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and even if the ones that you're talking to that you're building that rapport with and you think things are going well, it could just be a weed out process. And because they may be, like I said, getting a lot of interest. So don't get discouraged by that. I think you know how to work around that. As far as pace, they're trying to figure out the best way to get that to everyone and how they're going to do that. And so he's not, necessarily making false promises, but he's giving you guys an option until we get that figured out. If you go in Discord, you can see that link that he posted. So in the meantime, use that, or if you want to JV with a sub 2 student on it, then I think we might be able to give it to you that way. But for now, until that point, just use the temporary one. And if you run into another problem, just reach out to an individual student. We can work on that with you.
Okay, will do.
And I appreciate it. I see Tori and Jody both kind of are agreeing with it. So yeah, I think, yeah, what's going on is a little bit of vetting. I almost never get asked. It's very rare that I get asked for proof of funds.
Yeah, but that
Yeah.
could be changing, right? Because of how the market's going. And so they may be doing that to protect themselves and their client. And so it's also how you respond when they ask for that is another way that they're vetting people. So just stay calm and collected while you're on the call, and things will go well. Just keep building that rapport, and it'll go smooth.
Yeah, no, I actually never heard agent not ask for some kind of proof of funds. It's just like I said, occasionally you'll hear the ones asking for the bank statement proof of funds or the bank numbers proof of funds, that sort of thing, which doesn't happen all the time either. But
And
yeah,
with that, it could be that they may have been burned before, right?
yep. Mhm.
That could have been, you're just now the example. right? They've already had someone come in and they were all ready to move forward, but didn't have the proof of funds, and then they didn't go through the vetting process with the agent, or the agent didn't go through that with that investor. And so then time went on and they missed other offers, right? So they're just doing that as a protection or a response to what had happened previous to you calling them.
Mhm. Yeah. Makes sense.
Cool. What's
All right.
anything else, Ray?
Nope, that was it for now, sir.
I appreciate it, man.
Thank you, Dawn.
You making calls? You getting out there?
Yep. Yeah, I'm still streamlining and trying to tweak my workflow to make it as efficient as possible. So I spent a lot of time working on that. 'Cause I want like a workflow that's streamlined and efficient. So when I wake up, jump in front of this thing, boom, I already got the system, got the workflow, time block, everything. So I'm just building that out right now. But yeah.
Good. Good, but yeah, don't forget to also make the calls.
Yes, sir. Oh
You know
no,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
that's
I'm
mixed
saying?
in there too. That's the
Yeah.
workflow. Like, yeah, go comp privy, go make the agent calls. Yeah, the calls are part of the workflow. Yeah.
Good, good. Yeah, don't like build something and then you never actually are
Right,
working leads, you know?
right. Calls are part of the workflow. All right, man. Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it. Good to
Yeah.
see you again.
Yes, sir.
Dawn, I have no idea how to remove spotlight stuff.
You don't know how to remove spotlights? Come on, man. We're gonna have to do a Zoom on how to Zoom.
No, it doesn't say, it used to say spotlight for everyone, but that's all I'm seeing now. Spotlight for everyone.
Yeah, you can do that, and then whoever then if you go over my name and the little three dots, you can spotlight for everyone.
Oh, so. I don't know.
Oh my goodness, I'm
I'm
gonna have
going,
to.
I'm going over your name, but it doesn't have any spotlight now. It's
It's okay.
broked. The
We'll
system
figure it
is
out.
broked. All right. Philip, you're there. I see you. Give me a second. Ask to unmute. There you are. Spotlight for everyone. Remove all pinned videos. Oh, there it goes. Now I got it.
Look at you
Perfect.
go.
All right. Yes, sir. How are you, Mr. Philip?
I am doing pretty good. How are you doing?
I am tumbling and working through it, but it's okay. Yeah. I drank a cold thing today and wow, like I hurt in my brain. It was not very fun.
Oh yeah, that sucks. That sucks. So my question slash, I guess I was wondering if I could do like a walkthrough. So I'm in the Houston market and I have Privy, but I'm doing I'm trying to do outreach like virtually in the Dallas market.
Mhm.
And what I did today was add a bunch of properties, and where I'm getting hung up at and just not 100% confident is, let's say I have a property that I think is a good potential lead, and when I go to the comparables, that is where I'm getting stuck at to find out like, okay, what's the ARV in this area? Is it what's the ARV? B, is it a good area? Based off of Privy, like due to like investor activity. So those are the two parts that I'm getting hung up on right now.
Sure. Do you have an example? Maybe you wanna give us a property address that you're thinking of, or do you want me
Yeah.
to just make something up?
I'll shoot you this one that I'm looking at right now.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Google Chrome.
Oops.
All right. What's the address?
I actually just direct messaged it to you. really, I just want to like hear your thought process behind it on like what you think. Because I kind of have an idea, but I just wanted to hear other people's ideas of what their process is, because just off rip, I think this is a good opportunity, but I want to make sure that the area is somewhere that has a lot of investor activity. Based on what I see on Privy, I see two blue or a couple blue buttons, but I don't know if that's good or
So
not.
I'll just do my thing and I'll talk out loud
Okay.
and feel free to interrupt me anytime, okay?
Mhm.
So when you get to the landing page, I like the blues. That's always good. You can see my screen?
Yes.
Alright, the whatever privy sign little here, that's always good. 180,000, it's dropped 10,000 last week, right? Okay. It is somewhere in this area of Dallas. I think last time we were looking kind of in this area, so this is not too far. I personally don't know anything about Dallas other than that it's near Fort Worth. That's legit all I know.
Same.
Two bedroom, one bath. It's a small little place, 716 square feet, right? I can tell it needs a little bit of work, right? Just
Mhm.
from this stuff, this doesn't look safe, you know? Doors beat up here, it's not even sitting straight. Siding has issues, okay? It definitely needs work. So someone probably started, obviously someone started working on this and halfway through the project decided to give up. Need some landscaping work so we can factor that in to those. Did you see those numbers I put in there earlier about, you know, costs and rehab? I'm under the impression I put also the exterior. We kind of factor in 5,000 or so if it's just a regular exterior. Really nice is 15, and if you're gonna be doing like Airbnb slash luxury level, you're gonna be spending 35K. So, um, but this doesn't, you're probably not gonna be Airbnb in this. This is probably just a rental or something. I don't know. So it's active, investor special, fantastic. I'm also going to um look at it on Zillow. Price cut 10K. So it's the same thing. It doesn't have any different pictures, but sometimes it has more written here. No HOA, that's pretty good. Yeah, crazy price increases. Okay, see, this is something you don't see in Zillow, right? Sorry, in Privy. It was listed in, at the beginning of September, 200. It dropped and dropped again.
Mhm.
So that's good info to know. They've been dropping prices, which is pretty standard nowadays. Almost everything is coming back to reality, price wise. Everything's been too crazy. Okay. We know taxes are, where was it? Principal, oh, this is if you bought it at this price. No, here we go. Complete tax history. I don't know what the property taxes are. What the rate is in Dallas. I know here it's ridiculously expensive in San Antonio.
On
Um,
Privy, it says it's $2,470 for 2021.
Well, here they're talking about 3940. How much was yours?
2470 in 2021.
Yeah, how much are you paying in taxes in Houston?
I have no idea.
What's your tax rate? Do you know?
No.
So mine is about 2.5%, something like that, of my appraised or whatever the appraised value or whatever they're talking about. So I'm paying like 10 grand in property taxes here. And I'm
Okay.
not living like in, you know, it's just a normal neighborhood house. So I can guarantee you that this is probably higher.
More accurate, or yeah,
I would say this is low.
okay.
Yeah, I think it's probably double this. So just something to keep in mind. Cause as soon as it sells, right, they're gonna reevaluate taxes based on sale price and
Mm-hmm.
all that fun stuff that the government loves to do. So it's got some properties here, that's good. Not really anything before and after. This construction 191 days, so that's probably when they bought it and they've been sitting on it a while and not doing anything with it. Let's double check. Since March. They've been sitting on this property since March. So they probably bought it in March to fix it up. You know, exactly, look. Construction
Mm.
loan for 8 months. Here we are, almost 8 months later. Right? They're putting
Mm-hmm.
it on the market because they need to get out of this loan. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So they probably bought it, they were gonna fix it up. Something happened. And they have to get out of it now. My guess is they bought too high. Let's see. They bought way too high. 140,000 is crazy. In I mean, in San Antonio, I would buy a 2-1 like around 60K,
That's what I was.
right? This is,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get Dallas is nice, but that's more than double. So they probably bought too high, got into construction, realized they probably don't have enough money to finish. And even if they finished, they couldn't sell what they were hoping they would be able to sell it at back in March or April. The market's nosedived, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we're at. How much do I think the property is worth now? I mean, if they sold for 140, it's still too high. That's what they bought it at.
Right. Yeah.
Imagine all the money that they spent. I mean, I don't think they spent a lot of money yet. I was looking, maybe some drywall. You know, a little bit of drywall, a little bit of no plumbing, maybe electrical, maybe. I mean, they tape the plugs. Typically we tape the plugs if they're new, so I'm assuming they did some electrical. I don't see a, a meter on the outside anywhere, so I can't tell you if it's new or not. But they put some money in this and they're hoping and praying that they'll be able to sell it to at least break even. What I'm doing, so basically what I'm doing is trying to build a story in my head. What's going on
Mm.
with this property? What's the backstory? I'm trying to understand how to approach it, you know? And this is the story that I'm seeing presented here. They brought this property, they wanted to fix it, they ran out of funds, and they're trying to bail on it. Why else would you stop a flip halfway through? Something happened, they need to get out of it. So
Right.
180,000, um, I would say they would need to budge on that price quite a bit. You know, they're probably gonna lose money on this if they sold it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and how do I know that? Well, let's see if we can find some ARVs. Right? What is this? 580K in July? A 1-bedroom? Yeah, so this is a new build. And those numbers are way off.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
So
Rob.
we can't use this as a comparable. Yeah,
So Ray asked a really good question. I think everybody might need to hear too. He's asking about where it says all activity and then investor activity by the comps right above where it says to sold on the left.
right here.
Yeah, on the left. So when they're blue, the type when you're looking at comps. What does that mean? And I know those are active, but sometimes they show up as blue, right? We'll have a blue, we'll have a red, and then we'll have a green. Can you go over why some of those are blue and some of those are green?
Yeah. Green is the easy one. So green means that this is currently listed on the market. It's active. And furthermore, I can differentiate between this top line property here, 2043 Life Avenue versus this property right here, because this has two different prices on the same property. What Privy does is it factors when it was bought, when it was sold, how long it was held on for, all that stuff. And it thinks that this property was a flip. This is an investor property. It was bought at 150, they did something, and now they're selling it at 200. It was bought at 391, they did something, and now it's selling at 600. You see that? This one was probably, you know, it's not perfect, but that's what the software is trying to do. It's trying to tell you that something happened here that looks to us like it might have been an investor went in and fixed it. And an easy way to tell is, okay, square footage hasn't changed, but price per square foot has. Bedrooms really haven't changed, but the purchase and sale price has been severely altered. Now, this doesn't look like anything now, but I guarantee you they probably built something. Maybe. I don't know. There's nothing, it doesn't show anything. But it could have been that the price went up. So was listed for 84,000 in April. Let's see if Privy matches up with that. So in April, they bought it for 95 and then they listed it for 180. They're trying to flip a lot. That's what's happening here. Privy thinks it's a flip in terms of a house. This one happens to be a lot that they're flipping, right? We can take a look at another one. Cause yeah, 180 is way different than the rest of these also.
Look at the second one from the top where that one works.
Yeah, look at this one. So
Yeah,
this
that's
is
the one I
clearly,
was looking at, and I was like, that does not look like a comp to me. When I was looking at it, it showed up as a comp on Privy for me, and I was like, that does not look like a comp to me.
yeah, I mean, this is clearly something that was bought old and remodeled and made
Hmm.
super, super nice. And
Well,
justifiably so that the price has gone up $200 a square foot.
Well, and Philip, when they show up in your comps, it's because they're showing comparable properties that are sold or active in the area. It doesn't necessarily mean it's looking at all of your criteria. It's just showing those homes that are in the vicinity of your subject property.
Okay,
And then
got
it's
it.
up to you to narrow it down by the bed, bath, the garage, the levels, the build date, all of that, right? So that's why you have to go through and narrow all of those down before you can really get to your actual comps to your subject property. So when they're green, that means they're listed, right? We don't want to look at those. But what Rob is saying is if they show up as blue and maybe sold, it's because it has a previous list price and then a previous sold price or what it's listed for now. So that's
Gotcha.
showing investor activity. So anytime you see that it's blue, it could be that it's an active property or that it was a sold property. So you have to pay attention to that.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes perfect sense because I'm looking at a property it's a few blocks over and it's listed as sold, and it's sold for 140, which goes back to your number that you were talking about earlier, Rob. That 140 number, that's what it sold for actually a little over a month ago. So, and it's a 21788 square feet. So that, to my opinion, that would be a more accurate comp.
Yeah, and so the other thing is, when you see the little blue, the ones that are blue that have the investor activity, what's happening is the system is telling you that it thinks that that is a good property to look at based on what other properties in the area have sold at and what that particular property is listed at. So it's taking a look at this number right here and saying, all the other properties in this neighborhood have sold at this price. The property you're looking at is 26% of that price. So it's gonna show up in blue, privy preferred, because that's a significant discount. Right? And I think it
Mm-hmm.
starts showing up in blue when it's like below, I wanna say 70% ARV. But that's what the blue privy preferred thing is. I hope I got that for Ray. So if I was comping this property, all of these right here, while they're nice, I would get rid of them because you can't comp accurately using all properties that are currently listed for sale because you don't know what they're actually gonna sell for. So, the other thing I wanna do is I can already tell you that, we can't accurately comp this property 100% because, ours is a 2-1 and there's nothing else that's 2-1.
Mm-hmm.
However, this one here is interesting, right? This was a 2-1. That looks like they did an addition to. Yeah. You know, there's still actually, it looks like they're still, maybe they're probably done by now. It was August, but
And if you go back to all the comps that you had, the majority of them were built in the last 2 years.
yeah. That's pretty. Farmhouse. But doesn't have anything. No inside pictures. That's a pretty house. I like that. So yeah, this is clearly an area that's getting a lot of investor activity, which is good. So 180,000. I don't know. This is here's why I'm saying this. This is not flipped, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is selling at 180,000 now. These are selling at this high price, right? But they've been on the market for however long they've been on the market. Plus you have to factor in their construction cost, time and all that sort of stuff. But they bought them at 150, at 160, at 70K, which is significantly lower than what this one is selling for now. These guys bought cheaper than this one is now. You see what I'm
Right.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so these guys are pricing it higher thinking, oh, of course it's higher because look how much they're selling theirs for. But that's not how you run a comp. You run a comp with as is, not
Mm-hmm.
what potentially could be in the future, right? I mean, there are situations where you have to do that. Don't get me wrong, but that's not the situation here. The situation here is that this is a rundown house that needs to be fixed. It's not worth $180,000. See
That's
what I'm saying?
probably
Gotcha.
that's probably the investor trying to get his money back, right?
Yeah,
If you would have bought it at what it was previously listed at, then yes, it could potentially be a deal for your buyer because of what else is happening in the market here with
Mm-hmm.
all these other homes, right? You could be one of those people that sell to your buyer and then they completely flip it or tear it down and rebuild, and then be able to sell it at these prices that these have listed for now.
Right. Yeah. I was gonna reach out to the agent, and I did not want to be disrespectful and be like, yeah, I can offer you like $50,000 for it, because that's the number I thought in my head. Um, just what I was looking at, and
yeah, you're on the right track. It's yeah,
yeah,
this
I
is
just don't
not
want to be
worth that.
disrespectful.
I mean, if it was a 3-bedroom, 1 bath in San Antonio, I wouldn't offer over 80,000. You know, a house like this
Mhm.
that needs a lot of work. Because you're talking about to bring a house to, it's not like it's pie in the sky stuff where you go from 150,000 to 300. That's a $200,000 jump. You're throwing in serious money there, at least 100K,
Mhm.
you know, at least. So it's not like, oh, you just wave your little wand and all of a sudden you go up $200,000 by just replacing little things. No, they're doing significant construction here. From a 3-bedroom, 1 bath to a 4-bedroom, 2 bath is significant construction. They're
Hmm.
adding a bedroom and a bathroom, right? Over here, they've added 2 bed. I mean, they're increasing square footage, you know, 1,800 extra square feet. They more than doubled the house. There's been significant investment in here to get to these valuations. You can't justify that here in this house currently as it is.
Gotcha. Okay.
I hope I answered your question.
No, that helped a lot. That made it. I'm on the right track, I believe. So I appreciate it.
I think you're doing right. And then, you know, um, I'm glad you're taking action. You know,
Yeah.
I'm happy you're doing that.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Happy. I'm glad you're here, man. Appreciate it. Okay, any other questions that I can answer for people? Let's see. I have no idea how to. Joe's here. What's up, Joe? Give me 1 second. I can't figure out how to. My screen did whatever it did again. All right, Joe, you can unmute.
Hey Rob, hey everybody.
Hey, how are you, man?
I'm doing good. I just wanted to reach out real quick, see if you had a quick minute to talk about that lead that I sent you last week.
Yes, sure. I can go look for it. Do you have it by any chance close by the address?
I do not right now. I'm traveling. I'm on 35 heading north.
Oh,
No.
35 heading north to Austin?
No, from Pearsall. I'm way down here, close to the border.
Oh, wow. You're like in the valley, huh?
And no, I'm 35. My mom lives between San Antonio and Laredo. She lives right in the middle.
Wow, that's amazing. Joe, remind me, how did you send it to me? Was it through through Messenger?
I sent it in email to your email.
Okay,
Rob's
I'm
got all
sure.
the tabs he's got to go through.
I'm sure we can find it eventually. You guys are
Yeah.
killing me.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I was trying to get home before the meeting, but it just, when you're spending time with mom, there's no,
No, I get
no,
that. What's your email again, Joe?
it is CLE San Antonio.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
5415?
Yes, yes. The
5415, Dawn January.
that's it.
All right, let's share. Dawn January Court, San Antonio.
That's it.
Oh,
The last thing I sent, I'm in a group text with Daniel and Ian, and Ian texted me this morning because I didn't touch base with him after when you asked me to reach out to Ian on Friday. I reached out to Ian and gave him the price that you said we would have to be at. And then I went back to him again and I said, hey, what would you settle for? And he says, I have to be at that number at 243. And I said, okay. So that was the end of the conversation. But then today, Daniel reached out to me and was asking me for if I had any more an update. And I said, well, I already spoke to Ian and this is what we told him. And then just now, at about an hour ago, Ian reached out and he said he can come down from that price.
so I need to double check. Was it 5415 or 7415?
Give me a second. I got it in my text.
I want to say it's 7415 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I remember this property on the corner there. Cause in your message tab, in your message to me, The title of the message was 7415, but you sent me a link to 5415, and then the PDF says 2415. So,
And I don't have the address in front of me.
is there a 2415? Let's see. So there's no 2415 and there's no 5415, but there is a 7415. I'm gonna assume that that's the one you're talking about. 7415. It says it's off market. Is that true? Do you know?
It's
Oh, I'm losing him. I'm losing him, folks. Oh, come on, what's going on?
I'm right here.
Oh, there you go. I can hear you now.
Yeah. Okay.
Nope. We lost him again.
I'm here.
There you go. You keep breaking
Yeah,
up. You keep going roboto on us.
Yeah, I know because I'm checking the emails right now.
7415 Dawn January. Okay. Um, it's off market. Is that the one?
That's the one.
Okay. And you're saying that he wants to drop the price?
Yeah, from where he was. So the offer we made was 215, and he came down to 225, and he asked if we could if we would be able to come up from 215.
215 to 225.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's the plan with this? Are you guys gonna take it over sub 2 or?
No, I think he wants to make it a cash.
Okay. Okay. So we have to decide what it is. Let's see. Where was I? Privy. The only other comp in this area is this one. Let's see if we can get rid of it and reset. I want to make this bigger. So I have to move. Oh, what happened? I have to move this little window because I can't see nothing. All right, filter, reset. Okay. I'm pretty sure this is a major road. Let's take those two. Why not? Won't hurt my feelings. So 240, 240, 296, 300, 250, and he wants to come down to 225.
Yeah.
Hmm. 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 I don't know. I don't know. So it's a discount for sure. How much are you gonna do in assignment? I'm assuming you're gonna wholesale this to someone.
Right.
Okay, how much are you thinking of your assignment fees gonna be?
When we spoke last, you said it was really tight at 243. So I was just thinking just to move it at 5,000.
I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting at 225. Let's factor in, okay? 225 times 0.3%, so on the high end, it's about 6,500. Okay, plus, let's say 15,000. You're at 250-ish. Okay. And we saw prices in between that. I'm not sure what's wrong with my filter. It keeps kicking me out. Okay. So, this is 2 bed, 2 bed, 3 bath. Well, and this is 240. And it sold in September. So you have one that's like right around the corner that sold at 240 in September. That looks to me like it's, I mean, they're all, it's not a picture of the exact property because it's gated. But it's literally around the corner. It's close, man. It's close. Here's another one that's right around the corner, 3 bed, 2 bath. This one sold in June for lower than what, you know, sold for 233. So, is it possible? Yes, there's gonna be very little spread on it. You know, at 225, you're looking at 5 to 6K of closing fees and all that sort of stuff, you know, on the high
Right.
end. And then plus another 5K, you're at 235, 240, let's say, and that's pretty much what prices are in that neighborhood already. So I think you're just about there. If you want to get a deal done and not make very much money, then I think you can do it just to have a deal done. But you're gonna have to, here's the thing, right? If you're gonna lock it up underneath and then you're selling it at list price, why wouldn't someone just go buy at list price? You know?
Right.
Let's say you locked, let's say ARV is like, is, let's assume it's 240, right? And you lock it up at 225 with all your closing costs and all your assignment fees brings it up to 240. We still haven't really provided value to our buyer, right? But let's
Right.
say you locked it up like at 200 and all your expenses come out to 225. And now you're selling it to your buyer at a $20,000 discount compared to list price. Well, now you've provided value.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So you have to get it low enough, get it to a point where you're giving them a discount compared to what's on the market already, what it's listed for already. You see? I mean,
Yeah.
I've ran into a bunch of these this week already, you know, people bringing me stuff and it's great. I'm so glad that we're working through these and figuring out that, okay, I have to, it's more than just, you know, a 10 or $15,000 discount. It has to be quite a bit of a discount
Right.
from
Because of all the
that
costs,
list
all the
price.
fees. Yeah.
Exactly. And this is where, you know, that whole building rapport and talking to agents and working with them to get that dollar amount lower, is where the hard work is, you know. If there's an opportunity in this property where maybe they can do it subject to or something like that, sometimes those higher prices can be justified if we can leave a loan in place and make things happen that way. But if
Yeah.
you're gonna be getting a wholesale, if you're doing this wholesale and assigning it, you're gonna need a significant discount. Most wholesalers,
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't even include like repairs and all that stuff, right? But most people who are buying from wholesalers and buyers, they're wanting significant discount, you know, 70, 65, 60, 55% of ARV is what they'll buy at.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially
Okay.
nowadays. Everybody's freaking out right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. You know, because I thought the conversation was over. You know, I think it was yesterday when they were reaching out to me. And so I'm like, okay. And then he just texted me at 7 o'clock tonight, about an hour and a half ago. So
Yeah, we'll tell them, hey man, I'm sorry, the numbers just don't work for us. You know, if we're looking at this, if we're looking at that, we're barely breaking even at that price. You're gonna have to do better.
yeah,
And don't be
and
afraid to be like, sorry, it's not gonna work for us.
yeah, I'll have to let him know that, because in our conversation on Friday, I found out that there is someone between him and the seller too. I didn't know that.
This guy's a wholesaler.
Yeah, he
Oh,
does both. He's a broker, and he's a broker, and his partner is the one that does the wholesaling. And his partner was the one that reached out to me.
so dumb. They're daisy chaining all this stuff for just a few extra dollars. I bet you they have
Right.
this locked up. I bet you they have this locked up under $200,000.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got it locked up low and they're trying to make a bunch of money. Sorry, it's not gonna work.
Okay.
Just tell them, hey, I'm not gonna talk to you. I wanna talk to the person who's direct to the seller.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
I'll have to do that. I'll reach out back to them again tonight and let them know.
Awesome.
I appreciate your help, Rob. Thanks a lot, man.
Hey man, anything you guys need, feel free to reach out to me on socials or Discord or wherever. I'm kind of all over the place. I use the same handle everywhere I go, so you should be able to find me. Oh my goodness, we have a bunch of chats. I haven't even been looking at them. I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm
Oh,
terrible
good.
at
I've
this.
been filtering through it.
Oh, thank you so much, Don.
Hey,
There was
but
one. Go ahead, Chuck.
I appreciate it, Don, and thanks a lot, Rob.
Hey man, I'm glad I can help in the
Happy to
little
be here,
ways I
man.
can.
Crystal just posted something that thought this was pretty good. So she said, Tori just called an agent to submit an offer and get her email address in Dallas. The agent hung up on her. Love agent outreach, even when you're an agent yourself. Wow. Yep. Hey, I take that as a win. If you haven't been hung up on yet, or yelled at yet, or cussed out, then you haven't been making enough calls.
Exactly. Yep.
It should be an expectation at this point.
Okay, hold on a second. So Tori's an agent, right? So she should know how to talk to agents. And I'm sure she does. Do you have the same problem, Don, where you get hung up on and people are like super mean to you?
I mean, I've had a few agents. Typically, they do it in their professional, angry manner. But there have been a few that have been pretty unprofessional, and I just leave it as they're human. They've had a bad day. I'm just gonna chalk it up and move on. Or I could call them back again, and they may not even know we had a conversation. So, it's just one of those. Just to keep reaching out, right? Until they tell me to stop, I'm probably gonna keep calling them.
Yeah,
Especially in this market, we're probably going to run into each other quite a bit. And if I'm continuously trying to find deals in that area, there's bound to be another time that I'm going to have to contact that agent again. So whenever you're getting in those situations, guys, if you have an agent that does that to you, you just stay as calm and professional as you can and try to, just give them the benefit of the doubt and remember that conversation that you had with them and understand, okay, well, we had this conversation before. Now I'm aware of what could happen. Let's see what happens this time. Right. So, yeah, Eric's like, they will block your number. If they don't want to talk to you, they won't. They won't answer. But that's okay. That's just them losing out on business, and that's their job. If they want to do that, that's up to them. But it doesn't keep me from calling people.
exactly. Yeah, appreciate that. Anything else? Anybody have any more questions?
Now's the time, guys.
Now's the time.
Rob,
Yes,
Rob's
could you
father.
help me complete?
Is it Tiona?
It is Tiana. Hey
Tiana.
Rob. Hey you
I was
guys.
close. I was close.
I
I'm
got it
so
on the
sorry.
first try, man. What's wrong?
I know.
Tiana.
Don is the truth. I love
Awesome.
you.
How can I help you?
Okay, there's trying to remember the lot by heart. I believe it's 985 Church Street.
It's a lot.
So it was a zombie property. This guy, he purchases zombie properties. He'll tear down the zombie property and just sell the lot.
Is it
He
in
wants.
Gonzales?
I'm sorry. Let me get the address.
985 Church Street?
Is that? I'm sorry. Bear with me just one moment. Let me pull up.
There's one in Gonzales and there's one in Galveston.
Okay, this is in Port Arthur. I'm sorry. I'm pulling it up now. Should have been ready.
In the meantime, make sure you all go to sign up for the upcoming Elephant Challenge at the end of the month, October 27, 28, 29, and I think there's a extra Zoom on the 30th. It's in the Creative Real Estate with Pace Morby Facebook group. Reach out to on that website, on that Facebook group, and you should be able to sign up for the upcoming Elephant Challenge. It's gonna be awesome. We have 2.5 weeks or so until then. So we're gonna be doing Zooms all up until then and probably after that too. We'll see what the team needs us to do. I'm happy to help. If you have any deals or any questions or anything like that, that can't wait until the next Tuesday, feel free to reach out to either myself or Don or anyone in the Discord channels can help. My tag is on screen. If you want to hit me up on Facebook or Instagram, I'm available there using those tags or in Discord, or you can email me or tag me or text me. That's fine too. Sometimes it takes me a while to get back to things because I am also working my own business and doing stuff. So I'm happy to help out whenever I got, minutes here and there. Happy to do that.
And one thing, guys, if you guys are new and you just joined for the Elephant Challenge, if you're having issues comping and you haven't or aren't able to hop on any of the Zooms, in Discord they have a link to Pace's Elephant Challenge that he posted on YouTube. Please go watch those. Watch those. They are great information. We love that you guys are hopping on these Zooms. But in the meantime, if you need help or you're just trying to figure out privy or need to understand how to comp, those are great resources to use until you can get in contact with one of the leaders. So highly recommend it. If you haven't watched those Zooms yet, please go and do that and get familiar with Discord. So that way when people tell you where things are, you know where to go, right? Or just ask for help and we'll get you in the right direction.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, Mrs. Tiana. Are you still with me? You're muted.
Yes, I'm here.
There you go. All right, so we're gonna try to comp this. What's the question about it? It's a lot. Let's take a look.
I haven't even. I just wanted to. I don't really have a question about it. I just haven't comped it yet. Just take up some more of you guys' time.
That's fine.
You're good. Ask your questions, girl.
Okay,
So I have not. Yeah, I haven't even pulled it up yet. So there was a property he had a lot. He had, but there was an issue with the title. So we had a property under contract. It went through the title company, but it came back with the sheriff's deed or something. There was some issue, and that took me for a spin because I had never heard of a sheriff's deed. So then I've been trying to do a little research and find out what it is. But that property was 817. It was a different address. However, he told me he now has this available until he could try to figure out the loopholes that he's having, the issues he's having with the other property. And I hadn't comped it just yet.
Sounds like you're listening to self-help stuff there.
Yeah, so you have to trick your subconscious. Your subconscious hears everything, everything. You want to trick your subconscious.
Sometimes the lies you tell yourself are the worst. Okay,
Or the
so
best.
yeah. Yeah, so I see in June, this property sold for $2,450. Public auction, the Jefferson County sold it at public auction for $2,450. And you're saying that he probably leveled it?
So yeah, I don't really know anything about this property at all.
Yeah,
Just
so it looks like he probably just leveled it and he's selling the lot. He can probably sell it for, I would imagine, in the $50,000 to $60,000 range. It's just a small city lot.
so
Are you,
Mhm.
did he have a different price or
He just wants 8,400 plus closing.
8,400 plus closing? I
Mhm.
mean,
That's what he.
I have no idea. Maybe it's a smaller lot. I mean, I guess maybe Beaumont, I'm not familiar with Beaumont. I'm not sure if it's a big town or a little town or, yeah, it's a little town. It's in the middle of
It's
nowhere.
small, yeah.
Yeah, so that very well could be the price, what this would sell at. If you're interested in, are you interested in building new homes?
I
that-
am not, but I'm looking for someone who is interested in building new homes. So that,
Yeah,
yeah.
I get it. So yeah, maybe your approach is you try to figure out how much this property could actually be worth. And try to make your little spread between how much you can buy it for and how much you can assign it for, including all your closing costs and all that sort of thing. And maybe
Right.
you assign it to a developer, try to find someone who's interested in building houses in this area. That could be one strategy. The other strategy could be you just buy it and you hold on to it for 10 years and pray it goes up.
Man, I was thinking of that. Okay.
That's an option. I know people who do that. They buy lots and just sit on them for a few years, wait
Mhm.
for the prices to appreciate and then sell them. I mean, people do all sorts of stuff, People will buy gold, people will buy exotic cars, people do all sorts of stuff to sink money somewhere.
So you think that this lot could go for about.
I don't know. You would have to look, do some market research in this area and see how much lots go for. But you're saying he wants to sell like at 8,000 or so?
Mm-hmm.
Suppose like through your research, you found out that a lot in this area sold for 12,000 or 15,000. Well, then you got to decide, is that enough money? Do I have enough spread there in order to turn around and sell this, to flip it to someone who can build on it? If it turns out that that's a fair price for this lot, 8,500, there's not really a spread for you there unless you can talk him way down.
Mm-hmm.
And way down means like probably less than half the price, 25% of the price. And then, yeah, like Krista said, reach out to an agent, ask how much the lots are going for, see if anyone's interested over there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I would do my market research is talk to agents in the area and just see what lots are selling for, if there are any like vacant lots or empty lots. But to me, it sounds like he's the one that purchased it at auction, basically paid the back taxes, and now is just trying to flip it for himself.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been maybe holding on to it. I don't know for how long, but
It looks like it was done in
Couple months.
June. end
Yeah,
of June.
so you'll see that a lot, right? Where people are buying lots or paying back taxes and, getting ownership of the lot or the house and then waiting a few months for it to flip. If he would have sold this probably or would have been able to purchase this before, he might have been able to get more for it. But yeah, I would talk to some agents in that area and then see if they may have any builders that are looking for lots that they have as clients.
Hmm, that is a good
Perfect.
idea. Thank you. Quick question. So I'm not familiar with auctions or lots. Well, I'm learning lots, but I'm not familiar with auctions. When these people are buying these lots or whatever it is, properties at auctions, is there a potential risk with liens on the title or anything? Like, is the title, like, should the title be clear or?
So I'm not a auction professional. I have no idea, like some of the finer details.
Mhm.
Typically, when something goes to auction, it's because there have been unsatisfied liens.
Right.
They stopped paying on something, or maybe there was a death in the family, and like the owner died, and they're selling the real estate to cover expenses, whatever the situation is. So typically, when you're buying at auction, you're typically paying everything off, all the liens off, and you're walking away with a clear property, typically.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Thank you, Rob.
yeah,
Mhm.
of course. And just check into the local rules and laws there and all that stuff, because it varies. So
Thank you.
don't take my word for it. I'm just a yuppie on the internet.
I got my
Oh,
hand up.
I see you, Miss Allison. Let's unmute you. And
Okay, I was just gonna make a comment that
yes, ma'am.
I had spoke with, I'm down here in Georgia, and I spoke with the lady who handles like all of the like the auctions, the liens, all that go through her. And she informed me that everything is paid off because I was interested in the overage. And so she said when it gets to her, everything is paid off that was owed on the property.
Yeah,
Mhm.
good. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Mhm.
All right. If there's no more questions, I'll give it a few seconds. But yeah, everyone can sign up for the next Elephant Challenge. That'd be great to see you all there. Invite your friends, invite your parents, invite your kids, invite everybody. Um, what else was there? I feel like I'm missing something. If you need any help with any deals, please bring them to the group, or next week's Tuesday. Dawn is also holding a Zoom tomorrow night, same time.
Yeah, there's some conflict, not in a bad way. It's more of, we have another leader that's hosting a Zoom tomorrow
beat
at
'em
the
up.
same time.
Beat 'em up.
Oh no, it's Eric. Eric's great. So I might just hop on his Zoom and help him out and kind of do the same thing I did tonight. But I'll definitely post in Discord to make sure everybody knows that. But either way, Eric is amazing and he's super solid. So if I am not posting my link tomorrow in the afternoon, I will post that I am going to be on his Zoom. So I would still love to see everybody there because I'll be there. But either way, I will see you guys tomorrow.
Awesome. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, Don, for your support. I saw a couple more sub 2 students in here. Appreciate you guys coming out. Thank you for being patient and gracious with my cracked tooth and not getting good rest and all that sort of stuff. I'm hoping to go to the dentist tomorrow at noon and take care of that so I don't have to deal with that anymore.
Sorry, one thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go for it.
Allison said Well, he put his invite in Discord. Guys, if you go into Discord, on the left-hand side, it shows like the FAQs, you know, some of the leader stuff, and then it has something called the training schedule. If you go to that and you put in your email, because it's going to ask you for a Gmail account. If you don't have a Gmail account, just make one. Make one, and then you should get access to it. And it'll have all of the Zoom links for all of the leaders that are hosting Zooms, and it'll give you that schedule week by week. So make sure you go to that. And if you still can't find it, put it in the Discord and we'll try to give you guys the link for that. So that's why I said get familiar with Discord as best as you can, because all of your resources are there. And then definitely go get the training schedule, add it to your calendars because you can do that. And that way you will know exactly when all of the Zooms are being led and by which leaders. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, get into Discord, get into the Facebook groups, and just keep your eyes out. We're always doing stuff. I'm typically like on a daily basis in Facebook and into Discord. Um, and just be patient with us as we try to get through all the people. Thank you guys so much again for coming out, for participating. I'm hoping we're getting more and more calls done. I'm hoping that pretty soon we're gonna have more and more deals, and we can have one of these nights where we're just highlighting and talking about the deals we're making, and where you guys are just prosperous, doing good things. I'm hoping, and I know we're getting toward doing good things. All right, keep working at it, keep putting in the time, doing the reps, and good things are coming. All right. We worked a deal. We got a deal done this week with Tori. It was awesome. I'm happy. You guys are next, all right? Looking forward to hearing from you guys. Y'all have a good night. Have a good week. Take care now, all right?